just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the New Orleans Saints and the Cleveland Browns. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
Defenses always have a goal of holding a runner under 100 yards. Well, he went over 150 last week, won NFC Player of the Week award honors. And guess what? He's got a chance to do it again because of that vision he has. He sees holes that maybe don't exist.
First down, Winston. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Christmas Eve here in 2022. A big slate today of Saturday games. But we will have, ready for this, a triple header of action on Christmas Day tomorrow. I think it's pretty safe to say we won't have a white Christmas in any of these places, however. We start with the Packers and Dolphins in Miami at 1 Eastern. Then you got the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then finally, the Bucs and Cardinals at 8:20 Eastern in the desert. Plus one more for good measure on Monday. Once the family's all gone back home and Grandma's putted out of the house, grab the leftovers and sit back and watch the Chargers and the Colts from Indianapolis. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
On third down, Winston. And that will be incomplete.
How about this defense that came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 22. Faking the give, now Watson.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Against a team coming off a win, just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep. And he's not going to sniff the 1st down here. He stopped at the 25.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away.
On the return, Hardy shreds him with a stiff arm.
A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return.
And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Jameis now on first down. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Jarvis Landry, former LSU star, back playing with his home state Saints. Remember, he played with these Browns for the last 4 years after spending his first 4 seasons in Miami.
On second down, Kamara. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Ready?
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Play fake. Winston. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Jarvis Landry, his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Saints will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Fields it right around the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
For this defense for the Saints, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. They find some open field here. And he's going to be shoved out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 43 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. And Nick Chubb, about as dynamic a runner as the NFL has to offer. He put his talents on full display there. That was some kind of run. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
And again, it's Chubb. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. They go up the middle with Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season.
And the Browns are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Extra point by York is up and good.
And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
These two teams all tied after 1. On the counter, here's Kamara. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Jameis to throw it. Finding Taysom Hill complete.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Winston to give. It's Kamara.
And a short gain down to about the 33. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9.
To throw, Winston. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot, but what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
The Browns at 12-2 now on the year. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front, then winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
They run it again with Chubb.
And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 83 yards rushing for him in this one, and he is drawing ever closer to a 2,000-yard season.
And Chubb will try the middle here. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns have taken the lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he's got room. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better. To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Kamara up the middle. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter, 14-7. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Working out of the gun, Winston. And this is going to be incomplete. So after 3 drives and 3 touchdowns combined between these two clubs, finally we get a defensive stop.
Yes, and welcome to the party, defensive players. And glad to have you, because for a while there, it almost felt like it was 11 going downfield on air. Okay, so to be able to have someone come up, make a stop, now we got a football game going.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The Browns drive about to get started. Their last 2 drives both ending in touchdowns. It's gotten them this 14-7 lead.
And it looks to me, and I think you're probably seeing the exact same thing, they're in an ideal spot now to create some separation. The way that they're functioning on offense now, they can create a pretty good gap, allows their defense to play with a little more verve and confidence.
That big article in the paper this morning about them stringing possessions together for consecutive touchdowns. Well, right here they're trying to make it 3 in a row. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on 1st down. On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Yards that time on the punt, and they will take over 1st and 10. And getting our first update now from Nashville, and it's the Titans who are off to the early lead in that ball game. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. A slim deficit here in a 1-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with...
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Handoff comes to Chubb. And he's got this down to the 35. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. On 2nd and 15 now. Watson going out wide, finds Chubb. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. And we're going to get a timeout. with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 44 yards out, left hash.
York able to send this one through.
And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
They give the Chubb out of the gun. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
140 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Watson off play action. Dumps this to his running back, Chubb.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down. And
he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, a 16-yard touchdown run.
And the Browns take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by York is up and good.
And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
They go play action. Winston. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a first down.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a first down himself.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, Can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
The first down throw for Winston. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there. Rolling to his left. Throw left side complete. That's Hardy. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a first and goal.
Jameis again. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line.
We'll give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
173 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
On first down, it's Watson. And this one's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Third quarter action, and we appreciate you spending your Christmas Eve right here with us. Second and 10.
A give. This is Chubb. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time. So make it
under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Cameron Jordan, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. .33 yards is the distance on the punt there, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Now it's a bootleg with Winston.
Finds Hill on the crossing route, complete. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
They'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
On first and 10, Winston.
That pass is caught by Hardy.
And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 11 yards for number 11.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is good.
And this is caught. And all the way to the...
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But they trimmed that lead down to just 2 scores.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jarvis Landry with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year.
And the Saints have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Lutz good on the extra point. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Following the penalty, Chubb. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Second down, here's Chubb again.
4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the 1st. The Browns send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today.
Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they could afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On play action, Winston. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting takeaways. but an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust?
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take a blame themselves and figure out how to not do it anymore.
A run for Nick Chubb. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
It's a 6-yard run, leaves them with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, an 18-yard touchdown run.
The York on now for the extra point.
And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disciplined.
Trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
The York now for the extra point.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a 1st.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 38. Throwing, Winston. Winston into the slide, and he's got a 1st down. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a 1st down.
Well, they were setting up the screen, CD, a lot of free runners, and they got there late, and the penalty ensued.
Yeah, somehow it didn't get into their brains that it was a screen, right? Instead of pulling off and chasing the ball downfield, they kept going towards the quarterback and knocked him down way late. That draw.
And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns force the turnover. And they'll take over at the 10. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10.
From back at their own 10-yard line.
They'll start things off with a handoff to Chubb.
And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. 25 yards, the pickup there, and also a 1st down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, They've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory.
On second down, Felton again.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge fourth quarter stop? The Browns send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that is very well done there as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And he fends him off. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. One last shot now for Winston. Flushed out right. That's complete to his running back, Kamara.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. What a performance. All those points put on the board. And, Charles, it wasn't just by the offense. The defense put some points on the board as well. They were solid today.
Yeah, it was a complete effort to secure the win, and both sides of the ball made big plays. But how demoralizing is it when the opposing defense can take one all the way back against you? And that was the case here. That really sparked them to victory.
So for Cleveland, they continue to rack up the victories as this one moves them to 13-2 on the year.
And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Commanders.
Meanwhile, for New Orleans, it's a tough blow to their playoff aspirations as they drop to 9-6. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles.